G'day guys, I'm going to do something completely different and it involves cooking. Now, over the years, I've been with many prospectors, and when they go out, they take various quick and easy snacky food to eat. And one thing I learned it a long time ago, was that a lot of the snacks that the prospectors, or anyone actually, this is for anybody does anything outdoors, running, mountain climbing, whatever. If you take anything loaded with carbohydrates or loaded up with sugar, which is basically carbohydrate anyway, it'll give you a big insulin spike, and it'll zap all the energy out of you. But to tell you, I did this video before, and what happened is the damn microphone battery was dead. So it had no audio. So yeah, I've just recharged it. I'm basically going to start off and do it all again, because this is what I made. This. And you might say it looks like a schmacko or something, but this is absolutely energy dense, and it's so low in carbohydrates. It's something like, it's probably about 1.7% carbs. Carb sugars, there's nothing really in it except it's got a massive energy content, and it's really easy to make. So I'm going to make it again, and I've actually been eating these, so there's not as much there as what was, but it's quite simple to make. And what you make it out of, I'll just get, that's what you make it out of. Almond meal. Okay, it's ground up almonds. That's all that is. Nothing fancy, ground up almonds. You can make it yourself or you could buy it. So yeah, lucky Australian almond meal. Okay, that's what it is. The other thing you put in it, you put in, well, I put tasty cheese in, still plenty in there. A lot of people who would make this would possibly use mozzarella cheese or anything, but you can use anything you want. And if you're going to use tasty cheese, there is a trick to this. If you want the end product to be very dry, just use the cheese, everything as it is. But if you want it to have a bit of a softer texture, put some cream cheese spread in it. Doesn't have to be cream cheese spread, it can be cream cheese. It can be anything. This is the most forgiving recipe in the universe, if you ask me. I've made this plenty of times. You can get the measurements all up the creek, it'll still turn out pretty good. First of all, what you need to do is turn your oven on to about 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit, round there, and basically get yourself a measuring cup. That's just a small cup, check my hands, that's what it is. Use a bigger cup, as long as all the cups are the same, who cares? What we do, we get our almond meal, which I sealed so good I can't get it apart again. There we go, come on, open. Basically, the almond meal, cup of almond meal, roughly, don't have to be exact. Give you a cup and a quarter. We could probably go to a cup and a half even. You probably get away with 2 cups, but it might be a bit dry. Come on, out you come. It's being a bit lazy coming out. There we go, something like that. Yeah, a bit in there for good measure. Like I say, it's not critical. So we got our almond meal, bung it in. Now, cheese, tasty cheese. Fill up our cup, roughly. Now, because it goes in with a lot of airspace around the cheese, because it's all in little slivers. Yeah, probably put a bit more in there. Not that it matters. The more cheese you put in, the more cheesy it tastes. So, something like that probably looks pretty good. So this is something, it would last a fair while. I think you could just carry it with you. And the overall weight of this stuff is not very much. It's very light, so it's not going to weigh you down. But it's so packed full of energy. You could have a few bits of this and you go a whole day on it. Easy. So we've got our almond meal, our cheese. Now what I put in, you can do anything you want here. Shows you how cold it is here in Ballarat land, because it's frozen. Well, it's solidified. It's probably about 9 or 8 degrees here. But you get some coconut oil. You can use olive oil. Use anything. Don't use seed oils. Seed oils. I don't really want to say too much about seed oils, but look up seed oils on the internet and you'll learn all about seed oils and that's the reason why I don't use them. Anyway, apart from that, I've got some of the hard coconut. I'm just going to bung that in the microwave so it does a bit of a meltdown. About 1/4 of a cup, not critical, more or less. You could probably put half a cup in there if you wanted to. I haven't, but I think you could. So stick that in the microwave. What I'm going to do this time as well, I'm going to get some of this cream cheese. This makes a softer texture. That's all done. And come here. I'm going to get a fair whack of that. That's a fair whack, I think. That's that's a dessert spoon, so you get an idea. In goes some cream cheese. Nicely on the bench, it's all right. The other thing we need to do, if you want some flavouring, I'm going to put some mixed spice in it, just to give it a bit of an edge. You can put a good dose of salt in it, makes it taste really good. Salt's also good when you're out, you're sweating a lot, salt, sodiums and electrolyte. Replace it. So to see how my coconut oil's going, I don't want it too hot. There we go. So that's the coconut oil's turned into liquid, which is good. Okay. Make sure I've got everything going in the right order. Now this stuff, I put this in the last batch I did, and it tasted really good, but I think I could go for a stronger flavour, actually. Probably something like that. You can put anything in there you want. You can put any, basically, it's not really classified as a big heavy load of carbs, so in it goes. All this sort of spice stuff is quite minimal when you look at the carbohydrates. Coconut oil, in it goes. Not critical. We'll just bung it in like so. Normally what I do, I usually get the bowl, and while I'm preheating the oven, I throw this in the oven to preheat the whole mixture so the cheese melts in and mixes a bit easier. But at the moment, we don't really care. Just mix that as good as we can. It does work better if it's warm. It's easier to mix, but it's so damn cold here. So what I might do, I'll just do that, bang it all in the middle, and get that off the back of the spoon there, up there. There we go. I'm just going to put this in the microwave for a few seconds. And I don't know, it's on high. I don't want to do it too much because it will get too hot. I've got to throw an egg in yet. I've got to put an egg in this. So I'm just having a look at it, spinning it around in the microwave. That's why I put a little bit of heat into it because it's just so hard to work with. Okay. That was 20 seconds. Hopefully it's a bit softer. Let's see how we go. Yeah, that's better. Got some movement in there now. So we mix it all together like so. Guys, you'll like this. This stuff is really good. It tastes fantastic. And doesn't mean you're going to take a ton of food with you too. It's just so energy dense. Yeah. Mix it up like so. And what I'm going to do, I've got ye egg. You can put 2 eggs in it if you want. 1 works fine, but you can do whatever you want. Up to you. That wasn't a very hard hit, but it'll come out. Okay. So that's the egg done. And now I just beat the egg like so and just mix it all together. That's coming along good. The thing is, when I first did this, I didn't think it would be so good, but it is. And it's really good if you're going anywhere. It doesn't weigh much, and it's so energy dense. You can put a lot away in your backpack or whatever, stick in your pockets even, and yeah, it'll keep you going. It'll keep you going really for a while too. Just remember, calories don't make you fat. It's a type of calorie full of fructose. Fructose makes you fat. Do you know that? And alcohol makes you fat too, especially if you mix fructose and alcohol together. But okay, save that for another day. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, move things around. What I thought I'd do on this batch here, I found a little couple of packets that had some ham and a bit of pastrami in there, so I chopped it up. And what I do with this is called being pedantic, but where did I put the salt? Oh, there it is, over there. Okay, even with this, I get pink. They call it Himalaya salt. It's Pakistani salt, by the way. If you want to go look it up, throw some of that in there. And the other thing I do, I get iodized normal salt. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprinkle a bit on this. I must have some Eastern European in me doing that, but anyway, I always do this with meat, salt. Put salt in it. I like salt. I like salt in everything. And if your kidneys are fine, the salt won't hurt you. If you've got stuffed kidneys, possibly. So a bit more salt. Salt's good, keeps the bugs away. And this should absorb some of the salt into this, just in close proximity to it when it's in the mix. I haven't done this before. I haven't put any sort of ham or meat into the mix, but I think it'll go really well. So I'm just going to do it. Be like pizza bread to a degree, I suppose, but without the carbs. So there you go, it's all protein, a few amino acids, whatever else. That's extremely tacky. Usually the mixture is a little bit drier than that. I think it might be because I put in a fair whack of olive oil. But that's okay, look at that. The way this turns out is going to be quite good. Now I need that there. That can disappear. Put that over there. That can go there. Now, get this. I already used this baking paper because I did that previous batch without the audio on, but I'm going to do it, just reuse it because it's fine. Okay. So, I'm going to put this there on this. You've got to use baking paper for this. Don't try it and get around it. it will not work. So here's my spoon, my cream cheese spoon. You can go on there. Okay. Do it this way. It might work better. Get it off. Gonna make a fair whack this one. And what you got to try and do now, I'll put that there. What we're going to try and do is roll this out. But I'll tell you something, it won't roll very nicely. It'll stick to the roll, whatever you use to roll it, it's going to stick to it. So there's a trick to that. I'll put it there, like so. And one of these won't stick. I can't remember if it's a wood one or this. I mean, it'll stick, but not as bad as the other. So hopefully this just goes down. Get it as good as I can. So the idea of this is to have something that's got a lot of energy in it and basically zero carbs, zero sugar, zero carbs. And, you know, I got sick and tired of eating little cans of tinned tuna and stuff like that. And, you know, they tell me that the lining in that stuff is BPAs or something. And it's, you know, everything you have, everything's toxic. So I was just trying to find something that's easy to make. Now, when we get here, I wish I can get my hand in there, but my hands are too big. Sprinkle more of this almond meal, almond flour, whatever you want to call it, over the top. This should stop the, there we go, open the bag up now and get my hand in there, beauty. This should stop the roller sticking. And what I'm using for a roller, because I don't have one, we don't have rollers here. We either use bottles or glass. So, see, it just wants to stick. So as soon as it goes tacky, it just wants to stick. It will, yeah, see that there? That one there just wants to stick. I'll put some more of this on here. I don't want to get the sticky stuff all over my hand, but around there, just squash it down. Yeah, it's already stuck on this, damn. But tastes good. Okay. You can make it thin, or you can make it thick. That just means that you've got to cook it longer or not as long. So, something like that, I'm guessing. There we go, that looks all right. Look, at stuff stuck all over there. Okay, so that's what we've ended up with. If you can, I'll bend this down a bit. Or actually, how about I just push that back a bit? There we go. I'm doing it one finger. Now, because I touched that glass, I've got this stuff on my hands, so wash hands. I'm one of these people, when I cook, if I go from ingredient to ingredient, no matter what, I'll wash my hands in between. I just do that. You know, I just think, you know, how about accidentally touching raw chicken and then touching something else that wasn't going in the mix? So I just religiously just wash my hands when I do anything like this. Now, what we want to do with the baking paper here, I will bring this to the edge. The oven's up the temperature, I think. It's probably a little bit too hot, but we'll see how we go. I'll just turn that down like that. So now I think I'll get my the baking tray that I used. Now the tripod's in the way. Get ready for an earthquake. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I can do it like that up there. That's it. So what I usually just pour it down like so, and there it is. Now, I might as well loosen that, and one man show here. Here we go, and stick it in the oven. Okay, I got on 200. I might actually just drop it down a little bit. If it's got thin edges, what will happen is that it will go very crusty on the edges. But if you put extra, there goes the tray. The tray gets thermal stress, and it twists. Always does that. But yeah, if you have a look in there on that, and I'll explain what it does. When you cook it, I should put the timer on. Okay, I would cook that for 15 minutes at around 180. You could push it 200. I probably got it around about 200 at the moment, a little bit under. Can't really tell if these ovens are not very accurate. So yeah, anyway, what it does, you'll see it as it's cooking. You'll see little bubbles of cheese pop up everywhere, like it'll be all over it. And when the bubbles of cheese pop up, and you can see they just look like cheese. And when they deflate and don't pop up anymore, that's basically done. It's cooked. So sometimes it can cook really quickly. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But these things are really, really nice, and you can flavour it any way you want. So I'm just wondering what it's going to taste like with pastrami and ham put in the mix. Probably quite nice. So it does make a fair bit, but I found that Chari gets into it. She really likes the taste of these. So basically, that's what they look like anyway. Those they're very cheesy, very nice, but they're hard. They're not soft. They're not going to break or anything. And this should be softer because I put the cream cheese in it. All you need is a little bit of cream cheese, and it changes the outcome into a more softer bread-like material. Not exactly the same as bread, but more like something you'd call a sourdough or something like that. It's got that sort of texture. So yeah, this video is right off the prospecting topic as such as in the technicalities, but I'll tell you what, going out and prospecting itself and having a good supply of energy, this is one of the best ways to do it, I think, because you get a product that's so light. It's very light but energy dense, and that's what I think is a good idea. And if you have enough of it too, I think something like that, God, a piece like that, if you ate it sparingly, and this is just my opinion, of course, but if you went out in the bush and you had to, you got stranded or something, and you need a bit of energy to get out of the situation, as long as you had water with you as well, you could continually munch on a couple of strips of this, because I cut it into fingers, like finger strips, and you could like munch on it every time you felt a little bit hungry, and I think it would sustain you for quite a while. David was telling me, because David was a chef. That's my son, Dave, the one you ring up and talk to or email. But yeah, he got sick of cooking everyone else's meals, so he's doing electronics with me now. But yeah, I told him about this. He goes, "Oh, that sounds good." So, and he was telling me about some other recipes he's got too, which are basically very high fat type recipes. And if you can see this now, you can just see it. Probably, I hope you can see it. it's starting to make little bubbles. You can see right at the back there's a little bubble come up, and there's some happening around the front, and there's some happening on the left-hand side. It's starting to go. So if I keep the camera on, you can have a look at the thing starting to bubble up, because it does look quite interesting, and it makes really nice, you know, a nice sort of a browny yellow colour across the top of it. And underneath it basically does the same too. So I was thinking too, guys, you know, you can experiment with this as a base recipe to make your own snacks when you go out in the field. So, yeah, come on, bubble up. Yeah, it's starting to happen on the far end. Usually it happens closer to me, but it's happening the other way around this time. Maybe because the baking paper's up and it's a fan forced oven and it's probably deflecting the hot air or something. But she's going. So knowing a little bit about cooking, I did a lot of study in cooking, not from the point of view of cooking as such, but um, health benefits of don't eat this and don't eat that. You know, you get me started on that subject, I'll talk to you for hours. But yeah, there's a lot of things out there that you do not want to put in your cake hole. Absolutely, you do not want to do it. You know, I could go on and say, I could say things like, you know, around the 1800s up until 1900s, cancer was a very, very rare disease. If you have a look at the old books from the time, it's basically unheard of. And they knew what it was, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And I think a lot of it's to do with processed food. A lot of it's to do with micronutrients missing out of the food. You know, there's all there to start with, and now it's processed out. A lot of refined carbohydrates, which yeah, it's not, you know, not good for your liver. It's not good for anything. Yeah, there's a lot to it. But anyway, this is my take on making something that's energy dense and healthy. You know, well, to tell you guys, I used to go to the gym all the time. Used to be on a keto diet and all the rest. And with a keto diet, it's really hard to stay on because you'll slip. And if it's in your house and it's there, you'll eat it. I don't care what anyone says. You know, you're hungry and you're going, oh, I'm really starving. I want something. You see a bar of chocolate, you'll eat it, and then you'll go, oh, damn, that's wrecked my keto diet. That's exactly what happens. And I'm trying to stay on it. I thought about actually getting a tattoo on my on my like on the front of my hand, like on the hand here. I thought about getting a tattoo. It's keto, right, or no carbs, because it's so easy to forget. But I've stuck to it so far, and this is my second week on having no carbs. I just do not eat them. I avoid at all costs sugars and carbs, and it makes it hard because you know you got to work out what has it and what hasn't. So you know you can eat if you like macadamias and Brazil nuts and things. You can eat tons of that. You can eat kale. You can eat, you know, probably a bit of spinach, broccoli. You've got to be careful exactly what you eat. Yeah, thought this would be bubbling a little bit more by now, but it'll get there. So far, it's been cooking for around about 5, 6, 7 minutes. But yeah, I do want to take it out in one piece and show you guys what it looks like and everything about it. And I want to give it a taste test too, because I think it'll be quite good. It shouldn't take that long to cook. Because I've cranked this thing back up to 200 now, 200 Celsius. It's about getting around 400 Fahrenheit. So it should cook pretty quickly. And I can just see around the edges there, it's starting to get that little bit of a crusting. Yeah. So it's going to bind together quite nicely. Coming out. I wish I had a stop-start function on this iPhone, because I wouldn't have to go and muck around and restitch the video together. Let's just hit the button again, away it would go, but I haven't got that feature. And I'm just one who, I just don't like editing videos. The reason, I'll tell you why I don't, because there's so many other people do it, and when the camera's turned off, there's a lot of trickery goes on, a lot of things you do not see, and I notice it, I see it, I know damn well what people do, and I say you can't do that. Uh, you know, what I'm getting at. It happens across everything. So if you don't edit it, you don't have any breaks, or there's no tomfoolery going on, unless you use AI, and then that'll probably do it for you anyway. But I don't know. And in the meantime, I've been building up. Well, actually, on the computer, I've been building up. I'm got myself some much better circuit board designing programs where I can do simulation and stuff. And I've got some really good stuff coming up for the detectors too. Really, really good. Um, not to do with modifications to the detectors, because if you watch the channel, you know damn well what goes on there. But this is goes on and is external to the detectors. So the headphones was one of them. They turned out really, really good. Those headphones, I love them. They cut out all the noise around the place. I was doing experiments with some other brand headphones, which are sold with detectors. And what I was doing, I was actually putting them on my head, listening to the threshold of the detector. And I had some sticks. Basically, I was using my gold test stick and great big long hot melt glue rod, and I was whacking them together like making a clacking sound. And when I had brand X headphones on, uh, I could hear it as clear as day. And when I put the headphones on that we developed, uh, it's down about 100 times. You just can't hear it, and there's no fancy noise cancelling or anything like that. There's nothing. There's no batteries to go flat, which happened to me with the microphone. Yes, I was talking to myself for a good 20 minutes. And in that regard, those headphones are really, really good. I've actually had nothing like them that cuts out that amount of noise, and they're so crisp and clear. Even at the tiniest volume level, you can just crack the threshold and you're not going to hear any external noise. You can start having the wind rush through the tree leaves and making all that, background, noise. You can have all the gravel under your feet crunch away and walk on sticks, leaves, and branches, and you're not going to hear it. And that is an unbelievable gain in looking for targets. Just getting rid of that noise, that distraction. Yeah, so much better. So this is getting down to probably 4 minutes to go. It hasn't bubbled as it normally does. I don't know why. Maybe because I put so much almond meal on top of it. I don't know. But I think I'll have a bit of a look-see and just see what's going on, because normally there's a lot more cheese bubbling and carry on like that. It's still doing it in pockets. I can see it, but yeah, not to the extent it did in the last one. So, like I say, I did change the mix a little bit. I threw a bit extra in, a bit here, but it still comes out and tastes exactly the same. So I just move the camera back, and I'll get this out. I'll have a poke at it and just see how good it is, or how not good it is. What do I want? I tell you what I want. I want one of these. So I'll just turn that down as well. It's hard to tell. If I could spin it around, I could show you the other side of it. It's getting that nice golden colour to it. How about I just blast it a little bit more? I've put the oven up really high. I think it's getting that nice. It's like if you do macaroni cheese and the cheese gets that nice light brown texture. That's what it actually does. So it's happening. But it's happening on the other side more so than close to us. But being fan forced, I don't know why. It should do exactly the same. What I'll do, I'll grab it with a tea towel and spin it around. So it's going to grab. Okay. God, it's hard to hold. Come here. Being a bit of a slippery gypsy. Okay. Now that's gone in the way. Typical, isn't it? Try and do something. I'll move it in a bit. I'll just lift this up. But you can see on the front of it there, the colour? That's what it normally does. It goes like that. It's like a cooked, cheesy texture. And yeah, that when it goes like that, it tastes really, really good. The other thing too, it's a bit thin on that edge there. See how it's going a little bit dark? That's not much. You can just chop that off. And over there, it's probably a little bit as well. But I would classify that as probably done. And it's going to go, the timer is going to go off and scare the hell out of me. So maybe I get it out. There we go. Told you it was going to go off. Okay, turn that down, put that onto defrost. And I'll preempt this. I'll put this over here and in front of there. I do have some gloves for doing this, but I don't really need to. Get in there. Okay, I got it out. And around here we go. Just going to stick it on there. So, there we go. Now I've got to put this, I'll put this back in the oven. That's a good spot for it. That can turn off. There we go. So this is the beast. Let's bring it in closer again. The thing. I really need a cameraman or woman or Chari. So you can make a good pizza base out of this and no carbs in it. So have a look. Because I reuse the paper, it's a little bit stuck, but it shouldn't stick. Shouldn't. Okay. And there we go. When it cools, it'll be nicely firmed up. So what I'll do with this, I probably can do it. There you go, I'll pick it up. And there you go. Have a look at that. That is awesome. That is what you want. That's what it looks like when it's pretty cooked. And I think the baking paper has seen the end of its life. Getting 2 goes out of the baking paper. So we got our yeah, it feels good actually. Feels good. I'll put it around the correct way it was, around the original way. You don't really need it to be on here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this over here so I can get to it. Okay. And Woody's cooking channel. Okay, what we're going to do is going to cut it. I cut it into fingers like so. Oh, sounds good. So this size, 15 minutes, about 180, 200. I had it between each. I'll get another one out of there. Yeah. And I'll just take the edge off here. This is the bit I'll use for the taste test. So, yeah, that's how it ends up anyway. And actually what I should do is put it back on this, if it wants to come off now. There you go. Go on there. Let it cool off, just so it doesn't have any moisture build up or anything like that. So there we go. Oops. They can stay there. And I just chop it again. But this is what we've ended up with. That. So if I get this, one man show again. About there. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I have to get down lower. Quite funny. Tastes a little bit sweet, but I don't know why. Oh, now I'm getting some of those spices. Might be the mixed spice. Really yum. So that's my first batch. Now I've got another one. I know it's not about swinging detectors or doing upgrades, but like I say, we all go out in the field, so that's that. Anyway, it's enough of this video. I'm going to trim it up and pack it away and probably eat some when I'm doing it. So anyway, guys, catches.